We are joined now by California family law attorney Chang Rickert with exclusive access to Kim and Kanye's divorce papers. She's back to give us the inside scoop on the next stages of the divorce proceedings and whether their social media statuses will have an impact. Kelly, welcome back to Lit.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Uh-oh. Okay. Little outfit change. We see you.
Looking gorgeous.
That's what I'm talking
They said
about.
the black was
That's what I'm talking.
a floating head.
It looks.
Well,
you look great. Love it.
All of you. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Now, a source revealed that Kim wanted to do this last year. She employed attorney Laura Wasser in 2019, and it's likely they were advised to try. Is it likely they were advised to try any other step before considering divorce?
I think so. I think both of them were probably advised to seek marital counseling because good lawyers always want to make sure that you can't save your marriage before they get involved. So they probably went to marriage counseling, tried that, didn't work, and then they probably had like a psychologist on board and a lot of people on board to help them come to the settlement.
It's really interesting. So if they suggest for a couple, especially a high-profile couple, to approach counseling, is it more to check a box, or is it to actually see if there is kind of a new kind of ground to continue on from?
I think it depends which lawyers are involved. So I think the people that really care, and maybe their families as well, would want them to try to explore all avenues to save the marriage because clearly, you know, this couple is more powerful together. Apart, they're both very powerful, but when you have the pooled resources of two mega celebrities, it's always, you know, it takes huge consideration to dissolve that kind of partnership.
So the petition was accepted on Friday. I guess what happens next, and could Kanye potentially contest it at some point?
Yes. So the next step is presumably Kanye would have known of these papers. He needs to either sign for them or get served, and then he has an opportunity to file a response. But like I said, I think this was all anticipated, so they have it all planned out, and we're not going to see much nastiness. I think the next step would be them exchanging their disclosures, meaning they have already exchanged and seen each other's finances. And then the final step would be a marital settlement agreement that goes on file. And I think there'll be very little details in the marital settlement agreement about their assets and debts, because I think they want to keep it private.
Kelly, you know what I noticed? Kim has been like upping her social media game with like pics of her family and her kids. Is this like typical like during a split to ultimately help with the custody battle?
You know, I've seen that too, and it could be for about custody, but I don't think custody is at issue here. She agreed. See, most celebrities who are not well advised will check sole custody, and that'll send the media into a frenzy because they think it's going to be a nasty custody battle. But here she has really excellent representation, and she checked joint custody. So that kind of makes you have this feeling it's going to be amicable. As far as why she's upping her social media game, I think it's part of the psychology. You ever go on social media and you have couples that are like, we're so in love. These are pictures of our kids. We're so happy. And I think people tend to do that to mask what they're really going through. So maybe this divorce is always hard on people. And I think during divorce, they like to have reminders of their happier times with kids. So you're going to see a lot of happy times with the kids because that's what you want to be focused on. You want your followers to be focused on, not this nastiness. So yeah, I hope we see more lovely, cute pictures of her kids because I'd rather people be happy.
Fair. We all are feeling that way. Now,
I'm kind of a weird
social
divorce
media,
lawyer, you know?
You know, listen, I love it. I love that you love love. Now, would social media ever come into play in court? Like, for example, Kanye's explosive tweets. Would that like be a factor?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those can be attached as exhibits A, B, C. I always see social media excerpts attached as exhibits to very nasty motions because they can be used against you. So I always say, I actually posted this on Instagram today, think once before you email, twice before you text, and 3 times before you post on social media when you're going through a divorce. Just be very careful.
Say that one more time, Kelly. One more time.
I made this up. So think once before you send that email, twice before you send that text, and 3 times before you post on social media. Think.
That's what
good
I'm
for
talking
anything.
about.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love you guys.
Okay, so
Such
what
a-
is the significance of both of them still wearing their wedding rings in recent pictures? We're seeing this. It was driving us crazy, thinking maybe it meant something, but is this typical?
Yes, I think with a smart couple, they don't want you to know about it until the papers are filed. So the wedding rings are going to stay on until the first papers are filed. And that's what they did because they're very smart people. And that's why I advise everybody to do. Don't post about your divorce until it's final. Nobody needs to know that you broke up, your status went from married to single, because that's what inquiring minds want to know. But divorce is a very private matter. It's family. So I think these people are smart. They wore their wedding rings until the very end. And now the papers are filed and everybody's all curious. They're going to have happy photos on their Instagram. And then the divorce will be final without much ado.
But we did see
although I wonder-
photos of Kim, just a quick follow-up on that, because we did see photos of Kim without her ring. And she has this great lawyer advising her. So why was she almost toying with us, posting pictures, no ring, ring, no ring, ring?
Well, I think sometimes a ring could be an accessory. So maybe it didn't match her outfit that day. You know, I think the media wants to, you know, we all tend to want to read too much into people's misery. I actually posted about this today. It's called Schadenfreude. We all want to, people's misery make us happy. So I don't know, maybe she is toying with us, or maybe she doesn't tend to wear her ring all the time. I know my husband, when he goes surfing, takes off his wedding ring because he almost lost it to the sharks one day. So I don't know. I don't think we should read too much into it.
Makes sense.
What is the what's the quickest that something like this could take? Because Keeping Up with the Kardashians, this family is a show that we consume on a weekly basis, especially in season. The premiere is March 18. Could they finalize by then, or is that just too quick?
So the law in California is that there is a 6-month waiting period from the time somebody is served or they file their response. So the soonest this divorce could be entered would be 6 months from when Kanye files his response or is served. So that would be probably no earlier than August 22nd. But that doesn't mean that they can't finalize it and just wait for that date to occur. So their divorce could be all final and you just have to wait for August whatever to come before they're officially divorced.
To make the statement.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know about that 6-month rule. Now,
Yeah.
it's also rumored that, Kim is going to speak openly about the split in her reality show. Can we expect any legal issues if she speaks up, if Kanye speaks? Do they have to be careful about what they say?
I think they're going to be very careful and just very private about their division. But they're free to talk about each other and how much they love each other and how they're going to co-parent their children. I think they have made a joint statement that it's going to be joint custody. They're not going to contest their prenup. So we're just going to hear these little tidbits that they've already rehearsed before. Because like I said, this is a power couple, so they have a lot of advisors advising them before the public gets their hands on it. So yeah, they'll talk about it on their show and it'll make good TV. But I think for the sake of their family and their children, they're going to keep it on the up and up. Very private, very amicable.
Wow. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us and breaking all of the Kanye
Thanks,
divorce
Kelly.
news down.
Anytime. It's my pleasure.
Kelly will be keeping us up to date on the divorce proceedings as we will be following the story as it develops. So much to unpack there. Can't believe it, and I'm really at this point anticipating another 6 months from now, some big statement. Well, coming up, we introduce you to the best TV show of the year. You'll want to keep watching us. This is Lit.